I grew up with my dad riding motorcycles, and my grandfather rode motorcycles. And so my dad, we used to go for long rides. We'd ride. My grandparents moved out to Arizona when I was young, and so my dad and I would ride from California to Arizona. So that I have a lot of memories of that. And then when I was about 16, my dad said, "You got to learn how to ride a motorcycle." So he threw me on. And I remember dropping his motorcycle many times in a parking lot, trying to do slow moving turns and that sort of thing. And then when I was in Australia shooting Elvis, I met a guy named Cohen who owned this cafe. That was my favorite cafe out there. And he fixed up old Harleys. And so, we would go riding together. And so that was my first time getting on an old bike. And then when I spoke to Jeff for the first time, then I just immediately just doubled down and started riding all the time. There's many mysteries around Benny, and there's many things that I sort of filled in for myself, but essentially Benny's a young guy who has fallen out with his family, and his father passed away, and I believe he had some sort of trauma in his past that's led to him becoming a sort of lone wolf. But yet there's this part of humanity that craves togetherness, you know? And so within that lone wolf attitude, he ended up finding the Vandals and ended up getting a sort of father figure or a big brother figure with Johnny, and the camaraderie of all the guys. He meets Kathy, who Jody plays, and they fall in love and get married very quickly. And but he's always got one foot out of the covers, you know. He kind of has this way of being able to compartmentalize, and he can leave at any moment. And he doesn't want responsibility, doesn't want anybody to need anything from him. And so as long as that remains, then he can have a good time with everybody and have a lot of love for Johnny and Kathy and everybody in the gang. But as soon as anybody starts needing things from him and putting responsibility on him, he can cut ties and bolt. So that's Benny, and he ends up being pulled between Kathy and Johnny, where Kathy wants Benny to stop riding and get out, and Johnny wants Benny to take over. You never know when you meet your heroes if you're gonna get along or how they're gonna treat you or anything. And Tom makes me laugh harder than almost anyone in this world. My stomach hurts when I'm around him. And he's really kind and fun to be around. And then on top of that, he's been really generous with his sort of showing of his toolkit, where we'll talk about acting and he'll kind of go, you know, this is something that I do. And he'll kind of show me, it's like a magician sharing their tricks with you. And that's, I'm endlessly grateful for that. So he feels like a brother now to me.
It was a golden age for motorcycles.
I built this club out of nothing. This is our family.
Who's that good-looking guy over at the pool table?
I'm Benny.
5 weeks later, I married him.
Hey! Told you to take that jacket off.
You'd have to kill me to get this jacket off.
What the hell were you thinking back there?
Nothing. I saw you scoring off with them guys. What do I need to think for?
Yeah, you and me, kid.
The club has changed.
They ain't gonna follow nobody except somebody who's gonna hold their own. going to town? You're scared of this.
The Bikeriders.
Oh, no.